Veterans, transitioning service members, military members, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Off the Battlefield podcast presented by Veterans Claim Servants. Today, we are going to be talking about big VA rating changes coming in 2025. I just want you guys to be prepared so that you know what to expect and some of the rating changes according to the 38 Code of Federal Regulations that are going to be changing and some updates. Thank you for your service to our country. I am Veterans serving veterans. We want to help you get the education, resources, and benefits that you deserve because you served. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and share this out with someone that can use this information. So let's get right into it as we move into 2025. Big VA rating changes are yet to come that will impact VA disability ratings for mental health conditions, sleep apnea, and tinnitus. I'm going to be going over that in this video. And this information will also be in the description of this video, right? Some of these changes might seem beneficial on the surface. Others could severely limit the disability benefits available to veterans suffering from specific conditions. So let's get right into it. There are big changes coming. Significant changes to the VA rating system are expected in 2025, affecting sleep apnea, mental health, and tinnitus. More objective mental health VA rating criteria. The new rating criteria for mental health conditions are more objective, focusing on symptom severity rather than social or occupational impact, and stricter VA rating criteria for sleep apnea. Veterans using a CPAP machine may receive only a 10% rating instead of the current 50%, marking a substantial decrease in compensation for many veterans with service-connected sleep apnea, and elimination of standalone tinnitus VA ratings. That is a huge one because there's so much that you can secondary off of tinnitus. The VA will no longer assign a separate 10% rating for tinnitus. Instead, tinnitus will only be rated if associated with another compensable condition, potentially reducing benefits for veterans with tinnitus as a primary claim for direct service connection. So one of the more positive changes coming in 2025 I want to talk about is a revision of the VA rating criteria for mental health conditions, right? So historically, or in the past, mental health conditions like PTSD, depression, anxiety were rated based on a subjective assessment of symptoms and their impact on occupational and social impairment. The new mental health rating criteria is more objective and aims to simplify and make the ratings more effective, more reflective of the actual severity of a veteran's symptoms. So why this change is good for veterans is it focuses on the severity of your mental health symptoms. The VA is shifting its focus to the severity of symptoms rather than just the impact on work and social life. This means that veterans who experience severe symptoms, even if they are still able to work, may receive a higher rating. For example, a veteran will be able to receive 100% VA rating for PTSD, even if they are employed full time. Simplified and objective rating system. The new domain-based rating criteria is expected to streamline the rating process, making it easier for veterans to receive an accurate assessment of their mental health conditions. I think veterans will receive higher ratings for mental health under the new criteria. And there's also an increased awareness and access. This change could also lead to greater awareness of mental health issues and encourage more veterans to seek help, knowing that their conditions will be evaluated more fairly, right? So you need to understand those big changes that are in effect and on the horizon for the VA mental health ratings in 2025. It's very important to understand that they're still rating from a denial to 10, 30, 50, 70, and 100%. Okay. And again, it's going to be based off of 100% is going to be level 4 in one or more domains, or level 3 in 2 or more domains, right? And the minimum rating will be 10% rating, and that means that it's not as severe. So it's very, very, very important for you to understand that on the way that they rate. You cannot minimize anything when it comes to your appointments, and you need to get treatment. You need to continue to get that. So let's go on to the next topic of sleep apnea. Sleep apnea has been a heavily debated topic within the VA. It becomes very difficult to get sometimes if you're not diagnosed while on active duty, or you were not issued a CPAP machine. And the 2025 rating updates represent a significant step backwards for veterans that are suffering from that condition. So under the new VA rating criteria for sleep apnea, veterans will face much stricter guidelines for qualifying for disability ratings related to sleep apnea. And in my opinion, will get much lower ratings in the future, which is terrible. It's bad for us because stricter qualifying and rating criteria means that veterans with a CPAP or other breathing device will likely get a 10% rating under the new criteria versus a 50% rating under the old criteria. This is a major shift from the previous criteria, which awarded the 50% rating for sleep apnea with a CPAP, regardless of whether the veteran receives any relief or not. The impact on overall compensation is that with a stricter criteria, many veterans who get their sleep apnea service connected will probably receive a 10% rating for sleep apnea in the future. And the other thing is, it will lead to discouragement or a lot of veterans giving up from seeking diagnosis. The tougher criteria may discourage veterans from seeking a diagnosis or treatment for sleep apnea. And in my opinion, that's what the VA wants to happen a lot of times, which is unfortunate because you served and you deserve, and it shouldn't have to be you jumping through hoops. We can get into that in a different video because the VA gives so much and the government gives so much away to many other things as well too. So knowing that your chances of receiving adequate compensation are lower, it may discourage you. But again, fight, continue to go, do not give up, continue to push forward. So big changes are coming. You need to know that for sleep apnea. If you're on active duty now, get seen for it, get a sleep study, get what you need so that you're in the best position to win your claim and get that condition service connected if indeed it is a problem for you for right now. So tinnitus. This one is huge. It's a small rating. As of right now, tinnitus cannot go above a 10% rating. However, there's so much that you can do secondary, headaches and different things that are impacted, mental health, secondary to that tinnitus. So there's no more separate VA rating for tinnitus. The new rating criteria eliminates the separate standalone 10% rating for tinnitus. In the future, tinnitus will only be evaluated as a part of another underlying condition. For example, a 0% service connected rating for hearing loss with tinnitus would result in a veteran also getting a 10% overall rating. However, if a veteran has a service connected rating of 10% or higher for hearing loss, there will be no additional award of tinnitus. It's going to increase the burden of proof. Veterans will now need to provide more extensive evidence to show that their tinnitus is part of another underlying condition that can be service connected and rated for VA disability benefits and loss of VA disability benefits. For many veterans, tinnitus has been a cornerstone of their disability claims. These new changes result in the loss of this critical gateway claim that many veterans received a 10% VA rating for now. In the future, veterans will not be able to get a 10% rating for tinnitus on its own, right? This VA proposed change is significant on how it will be evaluated and rated, the tinnitus. And I think I don't like it. I don't think that it's good because it is a separate condition than hearing loss. So you just need to be aware of that and how that it will be rated now in combination with hearing loss as well. And just, how you could get that 10% rating. It's very, very important to know. So what should you do because of these rating changes? If you have tinnitus or sleep apnea diagnosed but aren't service connected yet for them, recommend get your claims in quickly and filed ASAP. Make sure that you have the right evidence. If you need a nexus letter or something of that nature, reach out in the description of this video. I do have doctors that can help you with that. You want to get rated under the old criteria, which allows for a separate 10% rating for tinnitus and a 50% rating for sleep apnea with a CPAP. Once new rating changes go into effect, it will be much more difficult to get VA ratings for these two conditions, right? The effective dates for the VA rating changes to mental health, sleep apnea, and tinnitus are not known. However, my best guess is the spring or early to mid 2025. Keep in mind that once changes are announced by the VA, there's a 60-day cooling off period before the rating changes go into effect. Get your stuff in, get treatment, get the things that you need, get the right help. What will happen to your pending VA claim when the new rating criteria takes effect? If you have a pending VA claim, when the new rating criteria takes effect, your claim will likely be evaluated under the new criteria. If you already have a VA rating for these conditions, for mental health, sleep apnea, or tinnitus, you're grandfathered in under the old rating criteria, which is to your advantage. This means you'll keep your current VA rating under the previous rating criteria. These changes will only affect new VA claims as of the effective date of the rating changes. Okay. So make sure that you understand this stuff. Today, again, in this video, we have talked about key big VA rating changes coming in 2025. specifically for mental health, sleep apnea, and tinnitus. Get educated, veterans. Make sure that you get your claims in if you need to get them in. Make sure that you get the help and everything that you need so that you're in the best position to win your claim. Thank you for tuning in to this episode today of the Off the Battlefield podcast presented by Veterans Claim Servants. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this out, hit that notification bell, and get the help that you need. Thank you for your service to our country. And until next time, we're out. Peace.